5 a.m. and the government has officially shut down, and I have a flight. And I heard the airport's going to be fucked, so let's go see what it's like to be one of the first flights out when the U.S. government has completely shut down. Okay, so getting through security and checking bags and everything usually takes me like 30-ish minutes at SeaTac, so we'll see how long it takes today. Not looking optimistic. I'm not seeing a line, but there are lots of people coming in. It's 7:42. Start the timer. 7:46. Just got through checked bag area, though that is a private company, so that doesn't mean much. I'm not scared yet, but the line is increasingly growing. The time is 7:54. Okay, just made it through security. It is 8:02, so it only took 20 minutes. The difference, though, is that this is the Wednesday morning after the government shutdown. So there aren't really anybody calling out sick as of right now. It's also just a Wednesday morning, so the airport is going to be less busy. From what I have heard from other experts in the space is that they expect this to become more chaotic the longer the shutdown remains. So you're going to be waiting a lot longer if you are getting to the airport last minute in a week or so. You might be missing flights. There are going to be flight delays. There are going to be flight cancellations, and getting through TSA is just going to be hell. But since we got here so early, I'm going to go sit in the lounge and have a drink.
He's absolutely right. As time goes on, we're going to see more and more chaotic situations happening. Day 2 of government shutdown and this chaos trying to get back to the USA. Dang, that's a lot of people. Our flight was supposed to leave at 1:30 and it's already 3:30 and no sign of boarding. Ooh-wee. Miami delay, Chicago delay, New York, LAX. Some people are like, it's not Trump, it's the Democrats. Some people are saying this is not even an American airport, is it? Guys, I don't know, is this an American airport? But yeah, it says Salidas. This is not an American airport. This isn't even America. How does America TSA affect Madrid airport? Can someone explain to me, please? Air control may not have a slot for them on the other side when they arrive in the US, causing a backlog and delays due to other flights entering and exiting delay. It may not have the staff to assist them through security, etc. once on arrival. So much can affect entering and exiting. Some people are like, I'm a flight attendant and I didn't have any issues with flights so far. No delays or cancellation, plus no chaos at all airports. Okay, this is probably what was happening probably 2-3 days ago. So obviously they did not see the effect then, but other analysts believe it's going to take effect later.
Yeah, Audrina, Dana, so far we're not seeing any long lines here at O'Hare. I've been checking for cancellations or any delays. We're not seeing any of those here or at Midway, but we know both domestic and international travelers could soon be impacted by some of those long lines. As we know, this shutdown will eventually trickle down and impact the travel industry. Now, those federal employees, as you mentioned, they include air traffic controllers and TSA workers. They're required to show up, though, as essential workers, and they'll be doing so starting today without any pay. Americans will continue to receive Social Security and passports, but TSA is warning travelers to expect delays. Travelers I've talked to this morning say they are a bit worried, and they're hoping this all is resolved soon.
Since 1996, we've had 5 government shutdowns. 3 have been under Trump. Hey, yo!
It just went through airport security, and TSA was not happy because Trump has suspended their paychecks with his government shutdown. The air traffic controllers that I am personally depending on to make sure the plane lands safely, they're also being forced to work without pay, as are our active duty service members. Now, presumably they'll get back pay later, but that doesn't help them pay their bills right now. So Republicans who control the White House, the Senate, and the House opted to shut the government down rather than negotiate with Democrats. Now, Democrats were happy to keep funding the government. They just wanted to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits as part of that. Without those tax credits, millions of Americans are going to see their health insurance premiums go up a lot next year, in some cases doubling or tripling. Expect to be paying a lot more. Many people are going to be paying hundreds of dollars a month more, which is, I guess, what Republicans want. This is the 4th time that Trump has shut down the government. His last shutdown was the longest in U.S. history and cost the U.S. economy an estimated $11 billion.
Someone's like, as a South African, America sounds terrible to live in. I mean, you had a couple of South Africans coming to America looking for asylum, so we need to see how those guys are enjoying it. A shutdown falls on the president's lack of leadership. He can't even control his own party and get people together in a room. A shutdown means the president is weak. Donald Trump in 2013. This is what he said.
You know, I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed. If there is a shutdown, and it's not going to be a horrible shutdown because, as you know, things will sort of keep
Well, there's a partial shutdown, right?
If there is a shutdown, I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the president of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together.
Getting fired. Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government?
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't like doing that. That's not his strength, and that's why you have this horrible situation going on in Washington. It's a very, very bad thing, and it's very embarrassing worldwide.
We're at Reagan National Airport outside Washington, D.C., and this is one of the areas that we're going to be looking at very closely, monitoring very closely in the days ahead after the deadline for the government shutdown has passed. Since we're now in the shutdown, these TSA screeners have come to work today. They're the ones in the blue shirts, by the way. They've come to work today, starting today, and not getting paid for being at work. The same is true for air traffic controllers at Reagan National and throughout the United States. Without a paycheck after several days, TSA screeners and some others may have trouble affording public transportation to come to work. They may have trouble affording gas. They may have trouble paying for child care. When enough of these people have those issues and the lack of paychecks kind of pile up, that's when you start to get disruptions and delays because people are calling in sick. That has happened in previous shutdowns.
Shout out to all the TSA and air traffic control who are actually going out there and working without pay. I mean, y'all are holding it down, so don't ever feel like you're not appreciated. Some people are like, if they don't get paid, neither should Congress. Rightfully so, but you know that's not going to happen. And some people are like, nowhere am I going to work for free. You have to look at the bigger picture. As soon as the shutdown is done and everyone is now coming together to agree on something, then they'll get their back pay.
Nope. As the government shutdown hits the 1 week mark with no end in sight, President Trump today issued a new threat saying that furloughed federal workers may not be reimbursed with back pay once the government reopens.
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way, okay?
Oh my God! That's right, Colleen. In fact, we just spoke to air traffic controllers here at Burbank Airport in the last few minutes, and they can now confirm that they will be heading home at 4:15 this afternoon. As of 4:15 this afternoon, there will be no air traffic controllers inside of that tower right there. Instead, they will be handing off their duties to SoCal TradeCon. It's their approach and departure team out of San Diego who will be talking to the pilots who are landing and taking off here at Burbank. They are hoping for minimal impacts on travelers, but it is still yet to be determined how severe those impacts will be. As of right now, the FAA is trying to call in additional controllers to come in early before those overnight hours.
So this just came out recently. In fact, I think it came out today morning. I think now it's been like the 6th day of the shutdown, and this is what's happening. So within the first couple of days, everything was still the same, but now people are getting frustrated. They're not getting their pay. It looks like they're calling out of work early.
I'll tell you how the
Shutdown.
shutdown
That's
is
what I
going to
want
end.
to start with.
The shutdown is going to end, I believe, with air traffic controllers.
So tell us why. The past.
The long shutdown that occurred at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, it went for 35 days.
Mm-hmm.
It was a record length. This was under Trump. What stopped it essentially was air traffic controllers starting to call in sick. Remember, they're not being paid.
Right.
They're under a lot of stress.
They're already overworked. We've seen so many examples. We know
right
this.
now they're even more overworked than they were in 2019. Their pay has been stagnant when they were being paid.
And there have been layoffs.
And they're not being paid. And a lot of them are at the end of their ropes in terms of their ability to function. So will a few of them...
60-hour weeks.
60-hour weeks. Will a few of them call in sick? Probably. Are they actually sick? Maybe.
Yeah.
But all you need is a small percentage to call in sick. And what happens is what happened in January of 2019. There's a cascade effect of delays, flight delays across America. And once you get some delays, more and more delays. And what happened in January of 2019 is Passengers started calling their members of Congress. Right. They were so upset. And Wall Streeters.
That's it. So it's people like me visiting my mom, but it's also the G6s with the private
jets. Also are reliant on the air traffic controllers, and those private jets are also delayed, or they can't take off. And they call in to their members of Congress and their senators. And within hours, Trump ended that shutdown. And he didn't get what he wanted. He did not get funding for his wall.
So we'll need to wait for billionaires and oligarchs to complain that their private planes can't take off and land to their private island for their holiday or whatever in order for this shutdown to stop. But let me know what your thoughts are on the government shutdown and obviously the TSA and air traffic control not getting paid. Should they continue working? I'd like to hear what your thoughts are down below. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't, also check out this video. I'm sure you're definitely going to enjoy it. But other than that, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.